I'm here for the special announcement. We've got breaking news. It's on to phase 6. And welcome to the garage. Phase 6. Too many rides?
Exchanging parts between two bikes.
And we're just starting episode 2 in phase 6. So the first thing I'm doing is taking this brake off of here. I'm putting on the front wheel from the old 91. It's a Warp 9 wheel. And its brakes, the rotor, the pads, are going to be changed over as a pair. Besides that, the master cylinder for the front brake already has a brake light switch on it. So with all of that, switching it over, I don't even have to bleed the brakes. Phase 6, episode 2, has to do with all the front wheel stuff. Just like in episode 1 where I took the wheel off the 91 and put it on the 2000. We're doing the same thing here, exchanging wheels. There's more to it than that, which you'll see. There is one brake assembly for you. That's one brake assembly, not 2. We're in phase 6. Phase 6 has multiple parts. Episode 1 is complete. In episode 2, we deal with the front end. Right now, I'm pulling the original set of handlebars off the 2K. 2K had his original handlebars. All those previous years of 600s where they had white-based frames, those came with white handlebars. Steel handlebars, cheap, you know. When they went to 2000 and they changed the whole color scheme of the bike for that 1 year, they painted the frame gray. And they give you gray handlebars, so look at that. Here's a set of OEM handlebars. They're not bent. They're in good shape. Somebody probably, you know, down the road, somebody's really going to want those. So those just go off to the side. And then, of course, there's the handlebars that are currently on the old 91. They're actually the handlebars that came with it. They're not stock handlebars. They're Renthal. They're not bent. We're trying to change out the handlebars and leave as much of the stuff on the handlebars as I can for the switchover. Episode 2 in the phase 6 has to do with front end work. We'll be using the 50mm risers off of the 91. $50mm. I could have probably gone higher, but that likely would have caused cable changes. My cables are working okay with this rig, but any longer and they wouldn't. So that's good, huh? I got all this stuff to come over with it, with the handlebars. Getting rid of stock handlebars and putting on Renthals. The only thing is we have to get some bars on the old 91. And it doesn't even have to be cleaned. Since it's just a roller, we're putting on junk bars. And these used to be, I could be wrong, but I think they used to be on my 82 XR500. But that's not all in phase 6. Stick with it. There's more to come. This bike is going to be bitchin'. Phase 6 has to do with the front of the bike, including the front wheel. We're going to go ahead and get the two wheels changed out from one bike to the other. This wheel's going on the old 91. The Warp 9 wheel from the old 91's going here. They had that tight. Long ago, I disconnected the speedometer, and I took the cable off and left the speedometer drive in place so I'd have a spacer for the front wheel. And that'll move on over here to the old 91, along with everything else that's here. So now we have to do battle with the old 91. Okay, back together we go. So the next thing is I've got to take off the fork boots and replace these. These are OEM fork boots, which are pretty much of choice, except for they're just not pliable enough and they're unsightly. Okay, so here's a different set of Daystars. These are truly brand new. So I'm going to install these on 2K. Black is of choice. I've got red available, but I want black on this one. The bike's probably going to come up higher. Yeah, that's as high as she goes. These fork boots on here have cracks and damage, need to be replaced anyway. The clips that hold the fork boots top and bottom are oriented towards the back, and the Phillips head screw faces outside. So you want to keep that orientation. If your screw has been over-tightened over time by some other previous owner, it's going to be out of shape. It won't be true anymore. You would have noticed that while you were trying to unscrew it. Now you need to be careful with these. You don't want to bend them up. Alright, so you want to just leave this one on the fork like so. Get it down there out of your way. Now this one you can go ahead and take off. Absolute garbage now. I won't be saving these because to me it's too much trouble to put a set on to be worth using a bad set. And they're not pliable enough to return. So right in the garbage. Okay, so it's at this point you want to think about the orientation of your seam on these things. It's quite a noticeable seam, and I like it. Well, let's see how it is on the old 91. They are front to back, which I'm agreeable about that. That's looking looking pretty good to me now. Now at this point you want to just go ahead and leave the top unsecured, but you want to make sure and put your fitting on here that's going to secure it. You can set that in place later. It's at this point that you want to bring your top of your boot all the way to the top of the fork and get your boot oriented so it's not twisted. Bring them all the way to the top, right up underneath the lower clamp. Try not to leave any gap right there, just for aesthetics. You don't want a gap there. These Daystars could be a hair longer. Trying to get it to the top and have it stay there long enough for me to get started on the screw. Okay, there's one. You can't just do one. I suppose you could, but most everybody would laugh at you. Here we go on the right side fork leg. I just go ahead and remove this screw all the way out. Yep, getting some new boots. It's another day, but we're still in episode 2. I'm gonna get this front wheel on 2K, then I can set her down. Alright, front wheel on. As we get close to the end of this episode, I want to let you know a few things that are coming up. You know, like what's he going to do next? Got one more major battle in phase 6. Yeah, I just wanted to let you know there's one more major battle in phase 6, and that is to exchange primary case covers and install a stator. So it's gonna mean I need to have both bikes worked on at the same time. That's phase 6, having both bikes at the same time.
2 bikes directly side by side.
But one thing that's really cool is we're already getting some new parts on here, and certainly we've begun assembly. It'll take a while though, because every piece must be fixed up and made to be just right. We're putting it back together piece by piece. It's gonna be piece by piece from here on out.
Phase 6 consists of exchanging parts between 2 bikes. 2 bikes directly side by side. Phase 6. Exchanging parts between 2 bikes.